All right, so you've sent over a ton of material on big data. I mean, it's a lot. Feeling a little overwhelmed. Yeah, I get it.
It is a lot.
That's why you're here for this deep dive to cut through the noise and find the real gems in all this information. We're looking at excerpts from what seems to be a big data study guide. It's called the Apex.pdf.
The Apex.
And a case study focused on, drumroll please, Netflix.
Nice.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking, right? Big data sounds like, corporate jargon, but stick with me here. This Netflix case study is going to reveal how big data is shaping what you watch every single day. I mean, like every day.
Yeah.
Really.
You hit the nail on the head. It's amazing how the Apex just cuts right through the hype.
Right.
And it gives us a practical definition of big data. It's not just about massive amounts of data. It's about the need for completely new ways of processing information because of that size.
Yeah, think about it. I mean, we're all swimming in data these days, right? Phones are overflowing, endless social media feeds. It's easy to feel like we're drowning.
Oh, absolutely. We've all been there.
So how do we make sense of this data tsunami?
That's where the 5 V's of big data come in.
Oh, yeah?
And these are outlined in the Apex. And they're super helpful for understanding what makes big data, well, unique. Let's start with volume, because that's the most obvious one. We're talking about mind-boggling scales, like Facebook generating millions of interactions every single minute.
Whoa.
But here's the key takeaway. Facebook's algorithms are using that volume to personalize your feed, target ads, and even potentially influence what you feel and think.
Yeah.
It's big data in action right on your phone.
Millions of interactions per minute. That's like trying to drink from a fire hose.
I know, right?
Okay, so volume is about sheer scale, but what about the other V's?
Next up is velocity, which is all about speed.
Okay.
We're not just dealing with static data sitting on a server. We're talking about constant streams of information.
Right.
Take your smart home, for example. All those IoT devices, like your thermostat, your security cameras, they're sending data in real time, and that data needs to be processed instantly to make adjustments, keep things running smoothly.
So if volume is the fire hose, velocity is like trying to drink from that fire hose while it's moving 100 miles an hour.
Pretty much, yeah.
What's next?
Now things get even more interesting with variety.
Okay.
Big data isn't just neat rows and columns in a spreadsheet anymore. It's a crazy mix of everything.
Yeah.
Think about social media posts, photos, videos, your online shopping history, GPS location data. It's like a giant digital puzzle made up of all the different pieces of your life.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm starting to see how all of this is way more relevant to my life than I initially thought.
It's everywhere.
But with all that messy data flying around, how can we be sure it's even accurate? How can we trust it?
You've hit on another crucial V, veracity.
Veracity, all right.
Data isn't inherently truthful, right? Think about those social media posts. They can be biased, misleading, or outright false. Even sensor data from our devices isn't perfect. So figuring out how trustworthy the data is, well, that becomes a huge challenge in big data analysis.
Okay, so you've got data fire hoses, data puzzles, and data that might be lying to us. This is getting complicated.
It can be.
Where's the actual value in all this? What's the point?
That brings us to the most important V of all, value. Can we extract meaningful insights from this giant, messy, and potentially unreliable data set? And that's where things get exciting, because the answer is often a resounding yes. Think about Netflix. They use big data to personalize your recommendations. And get this, 75% of what people watch on Netflix is driven by those recommendations.
Wow.
That's big data directly shaping your entertainment choices.
Okay, now that's pretty mind-blowing. So it's not just about the amount of data, it's about how fast it comes in, how diverse and messy it is, how reliable it is, and ultimately what valuable insights we can extract. It's not just about the what, it's about the so what.
Absolutely. And that brings us to the next big challenge. How do we actually work with these massive data sets? I mean, our personal computers and traditional software just weren't built for this kind of scale.
Right. I can barely keep my laptop from crashing when I have too many tabs open. How are we supposed to wrangle data that's measured in petabytes or even exabytes?
It is a different ballgame.